I also think that there would be ownership groups refusing to offer qualifying offers to players if they truly believed that there was going to be a salary cap beginning in 2027.
All right, man. Off season's here. We're coming back from a 2-week break, and I don't know about you. I've been itching to talk baseball, but I'm a little nervous, Parker, because we have something just staring us in the face, and it's that CBA, that collective bargaining agreement, is expiring at the end of 2026. And I don't know, man. I just have a feeling it's going to have some ramifications for this offseason.
Yeah, there's people talking about how we may not even have a baseball season in 2027. And I think that it's not going to happen. And I'm not one of those, like, I think we will have baseball. I mean, we saw how the last one went. The last one was supposed to be like the Widowmaker, I guess. Like, it was definitely bad. We missed some spring training, but we ended up starting somewhat on time, like a week or two late. And I have a feeling that'll be close to what happens this next CBA. This is like Rob Manfred's swan song. He has already said that he is going to negotiate this CBA and then retire after that. That will be the last one that he negotiates. So I doubt that he wants his legacy to be, we missed a season. I think that that's going to impact, where we stand during the negotiation process. And I also think that there's some representation that remains in the Players Association that maybe, like, one thing that we haven't talked about that could be affecting guys like Max Scherzer retiring is Max Scherzer is one of the most vocal members of the MLB Players Association. And maybe he wants to be an active member of this CBA negotiation. It would not surprise me if somebody with the conviction of Max Scherzer decides that he's going to be like the face of this negotiation. And I frankly hope he does. But there is like this big question. It's like, if you're a front office, do you spend now under these rules, or do you wait for a CBA that might save you some money down the road, but then you would inevitably miss out on this free agent class, which is a pretty strong pitching class and does have a couple bats in it as well. So what do you think we're going to end up? Where on the side of that fence do you think most owners end up?
I go back and forth with this because I do think there is the reality of there's some owners that, and we know who they are, that are naturally penny wise and pound wise, quite frankly. Thrifty. They are thrifty. They don't want to commit dollars into the future. They're very thrifty is a very polite way of saying that. But I tend to think that I want to be optimistic and say I don't think much is going to change. I think if anything, I think the players are probably in a position where they're wanting a little more security in going into 2027. What could be a missed 2027 season or partial. But I when I go back to this question, I don't know that I even think so much that it's a team or a player issue. I mean, this is an MLB issue. And the reason I say that, before we get more into the contract stuff, is we're coming off a World Series, Parker, that was the most watched, that had the most watched World Series in about, 30 years? And I can't talk. I'm dying. It's happening right now. I'm going down, man. I'm going down. No, but really, can baseball, I mean, this is a legitimate existential question for them. They have so much momentum as a sport. It's ticket sales, viewership this year through the roof. This is the worst time to have this happen and to screw the pooch and lose games. And I don't think they can afford that right now. It would be a total shock to the system and a shock to all the momentum they've built over the last couple seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we have this 2026 seems like this weird stepping off point where we could see some really splashy moves, because there are some owners that look at this as maybe their last chance to spend close to $1 billion, because we've seen that in the last couple off seasons. We saw the Dodgers commit to over $1 billion in the off seasons in the last two off seasons between Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani, and all the other free agent acquisitions that they've committed to. We saw $800 million go to Juan Soto. Like, we saw all of these moves. This could be, for a team like that, the last chance to lure the true, like, cream of the crop candidates on the market with that level of money if there is a salary cap introduced, which I'm going to be frank, I don't think we're going to get a salary cap just because of everything that would go into restructuring, maybe restructuring every deal, grandfathering in deals, however this works, however it would work, it would put the next commissioner of baseball in such a position where the league is in such a mess financially that, like, how do you even track that? Especially when, like, if you have if salary cap from the inception of the league or very early on, kind of like the NHL, you've seen that NHL salaries are incredibly low compared to most of the other major pro sports.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it when you have salaries that are approaching $1 billion over 15 years. Like, it's just too much money to figure out in a system. Like, what's the exchange rate in terms of cap hit, things like that. And I also think that the competitive nature of teams like the Dodgers and the Mets is actually has forced teams like the A's to spend more money last offseason on a guy like Luis Severino. And when, if you adjust, I don't think there needs to be a salary for it, but I think there needs to be a percentage where it's like, this is the median and everybody needs to be within X of the median.
Sure.
And that can be last year's median. And now or maybe 3-4 years ago's median. Like, the Dodgers can't just go spend $2 billion and make everybody have to spend $100 million. Something like that, some sort of system like that. Anyway, I go on this long rant to say that 2026 has incredibly huge implications on where we are going as a sport. It's kind of the worst time, like you said, because we just had this crazy viewership in the playoffs. We just had all of this new, young, like, infusion of baseball fervor in the fan base, and all of a sudden we are coming up on one of the most influential labor disputes in baseball history, and baseball's had some doozies in terms of labor disputes.
For me, I think it comes down to a simple reality, and that is, we've talked about it here before. Teams, I don't know if this is going to really shape how teams spend, because I think teams are starting to realize that you need to spend to win games, to get butts in seats, to be able to continue to have a profit and continue to spend. Like, you have even the A's are noticing this. They're getting ready to go to Vegas. They went all in. All in's not the right word. They invested more dollars for, like, the Luis Severinos of the world this past offseason. And you even hear rumors of the Pirates stepping up this offseason potentially and saying, hey, we need to get in on some of these big fish. And I don't know that anything that happens in a post 2026 CBA changes that reality. We talked about it with the Dodgers, right? I don't care how much the Dodgers spend. The Dodgers want to win every damn year, and they do everything they can to win. And that is fine. Every professional sports team should do this. If you're in the business and you own one of these teams and you're lucky enough to really get rich quick right off of these teams, that's what they are. They make money no matter what anyone tells you. They make a crap ton of money. Whether there's a cap, a ceiling, or whatever, will it affect some tiers of players? Sure, maybe. But at the end of the day, good teams want to get good and want to add the best players that have the best talent. That's what it comes down to. I don't know that that's really going to affect all that much. I tend to think that when we talk about things like floors and ceilings and revenue sharing, I think we make it more of a story than it is, because the simple calculation for me is, me team want good player, we play good ball. That's it's that simple. Am I oversimplifying it?
No, I don't think you're oversimplifying it at all. We've already seen, though, that there are some moves by the players that seem to. There are some players acting in a manner which leads me to believe that in the negotiations, which haven't happened yet, they are expecting not to have a salary cap moving forward. Guys accepting qualifying offers. Like, we have Gleyber, Torres, and Shota Imanaga. Both already accepted the qualifying offer. Both will be returning to the Tigers and Cubs respectively. To me, if the players union was presenting a unified front, like, that's a move that makes sense for them. Like, accept qualifying offers, guys. We're going to be here next year, kind of thing. If you need a pillow contract, sign that pillow contract. Don't necessarily need to, because I feel like if the owners, and we haven't seen the offseason play out, but what the implications that we're getting at could be for this offseason is the owners could offer significantly less money to a lot of players, expecting that people will take what might be higher than what a salary cap would allow for a longer time, rolling into a salary cap with a grandfathered system. So I know that's a lot, but I think that the guys accepting qualifying offers and people willing to sign deals that maybe, like, I have no doubt that Shota Imanaga could have gotten 3 to 4 years. I think he could have got a 3 to 4 years for maybe less money somewhere else. And if that was that important to him, if he truly believed, if his representation truly believed that he would be getting more money in the long run by signing a 4 or 5 year deal at significantly reduced rate now, I think he would have done that. Same thing goes with Gleyber Torres. So personally, to me, accepting the qualifying offer from these guys actually speaks volumes to what the players union believes is going to happen. And now they're only one side of the table. But I also think that there would be ownership groups refusing to offer qualifying offers to players if they truly believed that there was going to be a salary cap beginning in 2027.
Correct. And I think everyone, and I know I just oversimplified it, but to bring it back home, I think both owners and players are not prone to overcommit to what they don't know. And so I think if you're a player, you're taking that qualifying offer for 2026, you're feeling pretty good about that, because what we've learned through these CBAs over the years is that we go in thinking one side's going to bring this to the table, one side's going to bring this to the table. And almost every time we come out of that with something we did not expect, right? And I think that's the uncertainty that worries both owners and players alike. So to get back to reality, there is a scenario where the market for some players are certainly affected. We see that, like you said, with the QA, but I don't know that it affects the upper echelon tier of guys. When we talk about like your Kyle Tuckers, your Framber Valdez's, those are the guys that, because of their skill level, because of the money that they're going to demand, someone's going to offer them a three. Let's use Kyle Tucker, for example. Someone's going to offer him 350 million. 375 million. The market's going to really be the one that dictates that and drives that up. If you have a guy like that for 10 to 12 years, none of this really matters, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't know, man. We're going to have a lot to see what happens over the next, 3 to 4 months over the course of this offseason, because this is a huge offseason for baseball.
It is. I'm telling you what, Parker, I the last CBA we went through, I struggled, man. I really struggled. It was hard.
I did too.
I don't think people really understand. Like, I think people that are not baseball fans hardcore like we are think like, oh, you guys are just so silly. What does it matter? Let them figure it out. But it, in a very weird way, like, caused me anxiety, which I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I hate that I'm even admitting that, but that's true. Like, it really bothered me.
I'm this invested in this. Like, this means that much to me, kind of thing. It's like they're dangling it right in front of you. Like, you want baseball, and I can't do anything about it. I can just hope that both sides come to an agreement. Whether, I'm going to be completely honest, if you boil me down to my bare bones, I don't care who wins the agreement. I don't. Yeah, I just want baseball.
That is perfectly said, because at the end of the day, what I thought when this happened back in, what was that, 2020, shit, when was that? 2021, 2022? No. Well, I think it was, because I think you're right.
I think it was before 21.
Yeah, I think it was. In any respect, last time we went through this exercise,
yes, it was, because we had 2 consecutive spring trainings that were messed up.
That's right. So when we went through that exercise last time, I came to the realization that it's just a bunch of millionaires fighting with a bunch of millionaires, and this is so a millionaire problem.
A bunch of millionaires fighting with a bunch of billionaires.
Good call. Millionaires versus billionaires, and it's like it's a whole problem at a whole other level that those people don't understand what a fortunate position they're in to be even having the conversation in the first place.
Yeah, I agree.
Wild stuff. Well, we'll track it here. We'll be our each other's emotional support person for this next year.